talking about cultural differences in the classroom, we must first define what it means. Culture is the characteristics and knowledge of a particular group of people, defined by everything from language, religion, cuisine, social habits, music, and even arts. We need to be aware of these differences because it all plays into the learning styles of students. We need to become aware of the customs of these students because if they ask a question and we respond in a way that might be seen as disrespectful in their culture, they might not seek help anymore. And that is where we begin to see cultural disconnects. When talking about family involvement, we have to realize that it plays a huge role into the learning outcomes of each student. It is a proven fact that the involvement of parents in an academic setting always bodes well for the students. Teachers have to not only initiate contact, but keep that line open and frequently reach out. Not so much that it is bothersome, but enough that they feel as though they are included in the classroom narrative. Have parents' night that involves the parents bringing a special something that is part of their household, maybe a special book or a special object. This will allow them to feel as though they are bringing something to the table and allowing other children to learn about their child's culture. When creating lesson plans and classroom activities, teachers can take into account that they can include different cultures in them. Take, for example, that today's lesson is about the flag of the United States. After discussing the flag, have students go home and ask their parents if they have a native flag that isn't the U.S. flag. Have them either bring a picture or an actual flag, and they can give a brief history about the flag and where it's from. It is really easy to incorporate the history and art in different cultures. It's essential for students to feel included and a part of the classroom discussion. Last aspect of promoting culturally responsive classrooms is including curricular material that's outside of the norm. In our schools, there are different teaching styles, so of course there's going to be different teaching styles and different materials in other countries. For social studies, you can show pictures or bring items that tie into that day's lesson. Or maybe in music, you can have various instruments, explain the origin, and have the children play them. Including these materials makes the cultures more real instead of just talking about it and seeing pictures. It allows them to experience the different cultures.
According to Bennett, a stereotype is a mental category based on exaggerated and inaccurate generalizations used to describe all members of a group. There are multiple kinds of stereotypes that may include racial, gender, or cultural. A multiculturally competent teacher knows that racial and ethnic stereotypes can negatively impact their students and their academic success. There has been a lot of research done that proves that stereotypes affect students' performance in school. American psychologist Claude Steele looked into stereotypes affecting students' academic success. He says it's become clear that negative stereotypes raise inhibiting doubts and high-pressure anxieties within students. A good activity we as teachers can do to begin to look past stereotypes is create an activity that focuses on who a child is as a way to connect to everyone. For example, we can make a class chain of connections using words that describe students in the class. To create this class chain, give students thin sheets of colored construction paper, have students write a word that represents them like dog lover or optimistic on it. Then make them into rings and connect all of the rings to demonstrate that we all connect somehow. We as teachers are required to make a classroom management system. Within that, we can make sure that it ties to learning goals while reinforcing expectations instead of punishing for bad behavior. A good word to remember when trying to promote harmony is viable, valued, included, accepted, belonging, listened to, and encouraged. Ways to foster harmony include having open communication, cooperative activities, quiet time, a varied classroom layout, and positive reinforcement. Different activities a teacher could do are ending with a positive message daily, weekly, or monthly, and different tasks that can allow students to work on classroom harmony. For example, practicing agreeing with and disagreeing with classmates in a respectful manner. According to Bennett, racism is prejudice or discrimination directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. We as teachers strive to get our students to the point where they can successfully engage in an increasingly diverse world. A few ways we can begin to eliminate racism in our classroom is through exposing students to a variety of people and cultures through literature, discuss how no person is exactly the same in terms of religion, race, and socioeconomic status, include lessons that examine content from a variety of cultural and racial perspectives, and activities that promote conflict resolution. Activities we as teachers could do is have a culture day in class. We can have multiple families come in from different cultures and share a little bit about where they came from and their backgrounds and life experiences. This will help open up students' eyes to the diversity in our society. According to Bennett, a predilection is a stage on the continuum of social relationships where people prefer to associate with whom they feel most comfortable and familiar. Predilection can lead to mildly hostile relationships. In a school setting, an example of predilection is when students prefer to sit with friends of similar backgrounds, including race or ethnicity, during lunch. Without intervention and a conscious multicultural integration plan, there may not be opportunity for different groups to get to know each other, and may lead to formation of prejudices. Ways we as teachers can get rid of predilection is to encourage students to get to know everyone in the classroom, not just who they are comfortable with. This can be done by using a variety of purposeful group selection. One example could be pairing students who don't normally talk to each other for a class activity.